Hi, welcome back to BBAi TV, and today we're going to talk about verbs. Alright, so what is a verb? Well, to start, verbs can function either as an action. No, it is what the subject is doing. It is the action of the sentence. And another is that a verb can also link. Okay, so it can be an action, or it can be a linker or a linking verb. Okay, so we call it linking. And another word for it is state of being. Alright, we call them state of being verbs. Alright, so verbs can either be action, or it can be a linking. Another word is state of being verbs. Alright, the first type of verb is the action verb. So when we say an action verb, of course, from the word action, it performs, or it shows action. That's why it's called action verb. So for example, the dog barks. Okay, so what do you think is the action word there? The verb, the action verb. It's barks, right? So in the word the dog barks, the verb there is barks. Okay, that's our action verb. Okay, another sentence is Sam tells a story. So in this sentence, what word do you think is the action verb? It's tells, right? So Sam tells a story. So what is the subject doing? The subject here is Sam, right? Sam. So what is the subject doing? She's telling a story, or Sam tells a story, right? So tells is our action verb. Okay? Now let's have one more example. Okay, he sold some cookies. Okay, so in this sentence, which one do you think is the action verb? It's sold, right? Because our subject, he, what he's doing is he sold some cookies, right? So it is also very important before you look for the action verb, it is best that you first identify the subject, because once you identify the subject, may baon ni mo kinsa ang subject sa sentence, then it's easier to identify the action verb, right? So he sold some cookies. Alrighty. So the next type of verb is the linking verb. And the linking verb is a verb that connects, okay, or it shows state of being. Alright? So what they do is they connect the noun. They connect the noun, and so we have the linking verb to either an adjective or another noun. Okay, I'm sorry, let me just clarify. They connect the subject noun. Okay, so this is the linking verb to an adjective or another noun. Alright, we call it actually the predicate noun or predicate nominative. The most common linking verbs are common linking verbs are am, we also have is, are, was, we also have were, be, being, been. Okay, one thing that we need to also understand is that we will use am, is, or was if we speak about one person, place, or thing, or if our subject is singular. Okay, so we use am, is, and was if the subject is singular, no? Isa ra ka tao ang atong giistoryahan or ang subject sa atong sentence, then we use am, is, and was. And we use are or were with the pronoun you, or with two or more person, or if we speak about two or more persons, so meaning the subject is plural. So if the subject is plural, we use are or were. Okay, now let's take these examples in identifying the linking verbs in each sentence. Okay, so number one, the men are about to go. So are is the state of being or the linking verb in this sentence, right? And number two, there is no food on the table. Okay, our verb here is. No? It just links the subject to another noun. And number three, I am his friend. So our verb here is am, our linking verb or state of being verb. Okay, and how about number four? Tina was about to call. So our linking verb is was. Okay, this is in the past tense. Okay, we use was and were if we're talking about something that had already happened. Nahitabo na siya. So it's in the past tense. And just like is and are, we use was if it's singular and were if it's plural. I mean, our subject is plural. So in the last question or in the last sentence, we were really good friends. Were is our linking verb or state of being verb in this sentence. Okay? All right. Now, we actually have two words when together show state of being or they are a linking verb. Okay? And these are the words will be. We have will be. We also have can be. We have may be. Have been. Okay, two words joined together but are linking verbs. Okay, they are also linking verbs. Okay, will be, can be, may be, have been, is, being. All right. All right. Now, let's take example 1. We have been very sad. Okay, our linking verb here or state of being is have been. Okay. So these are the two words. Okay, and they both show state of being. Okay, they both show state of being, or they are still state of being verbs or linking verbs. Okay, another one. You can say, it may be true, right? So our linking verb here, or state of being, is may be. And please note that this is not one word, okay? It's may and be. May be. It may be true. You're not saying maybe. It's not that one, okay? It's it may be true. All right? And another example is this sentence. God will be with you. I'll just put it here. Okay, so God will be with you. So our linking verbs here, or state of being verbs, are the words will and be. I just want to discuss a little on the special verbs. Okay, why do we call them special verbs? What are these special verbs? They are verbs that look like, okay, they look like they're an action, but actually does the job of a linking verb. They look like an action, but is actually but is actually a linking verb or a state of being. Ooh. So these special verbs are the words keep, grow, prove, feel, and we also have remain, become, sound, seem, look. Okay, we even have taste. Okay, here are a few sentences where we can see and actually check if these verbs function as a state of being. Okay, how do we know if it functions as a state of being? So in number one, our verb here is proves. And if we're going to identify whether it's an action verb or a linking verb, I mean, you can test it by replacing the verb with is or are. And if it still makes sense, it's a linking verb. Okay, like for example, God is faithful. Does that make sense? Yes, it does make sense, right? So therefore, proves here is a linking verb or a state of being. Let's go to number two. She seems sad. Our verb here is seem. Seem is a state of being. And to test whether it is really a state of being, you can replace it with is again. And if it still makes sense, she is sad, then seem there is a linking verb. Alright? Next, Tina still remains silent. Our verb here is remains. Remains atong verb. Now to test whether it's really linking, you need to replace it with is. Tina still is silent, or Tina is silent, right? And it does make sense. Okay, last one. Dawn's voice sound angry. Our verb here is sound. And sound here functions as a linking verb. It is a linking verb. And to test it, Don's voice is angry. Does that make sense? Yeah, it still does make sense. So, sound there is really a linking verb. Okay? Sometimes you're confused to identify whether the verb is an action verb or a linking verb. You can do this simple test. Okay? Replace the verb with is and are, and if it does make sense or still makes sense, then that verb is a linking verb. And also, I really want you to memorize and familiarize yourself with these verbs. Okay? So I hope you learned something today, and see you in our next video.